You're watching Cyclecruza's all-in-one sport bike channel where I cover everything from new rider information, gear reviews, product reviews, moto vlogs, DIY maintenance videos, bike reviews, flybys, how-tos, and a new moto vlog every Thursday. Subscribe today. Hey folks, I wanted to show you all the mods I've ever done on all of my bikes over the years, including my former Chinese scooter and my former Honda CBR250r. And of course, my beloved and most favorite, the Honda CBR600rr. Okay, we'll start it off with my former 2008 BMS Pathfinder 200, also known as the Xingyue ITA200. The first mod that I did in my Chinese scooters, I installed a 100-watt motorcycle stereo system that came with an amp and two weatherproof speakers that I custom installed on the bike. And for the power, I used a Stinger deep cycle battery that was independent of the scooter's electrical system, because you don't want to connect anything to the scooter's electrical system because the electrical charging system is pretty weak on this scooter, and I would just recommend keeping it stock. That's if you don't want to get stranded on the side of the road with your Chinese scooter. And also for tunes, I use an old MP3 player that I had, a little mini one. And I tell you, the sound sounded pretty cool while riding. You can hear the sound beautifully. The next mod I added to my scoot was a remote controlled LED lighting system for night riding. Back then I used to ride at night a lot. And if you ride at night, you definitely want to light your bike up for better visibility. By the way, I included a link to get this lighting system in the info section of this video. Well, this pimped out Chinese scoot only lasted about 700 miles before it had problems starting. Later I found out it's because I didn't do a valve adjustment. So if you plan on getting a Chinese scooter, make sure you do that valve adjustment before you start riding it. Or better yet, spend some extra bucks and get a Japanese scooter. So I ended up partying out the Chinese scooter and made back every single dime I paid for it and then some. I actually made a $500 profit on this Chinese scooter. I actually enjoyed riding that Chinese scooter for the very short time that I had it, and had actually planned on going to the local Honda dealership and buying a brand new Honda SH150, but found out they're very expensive. And then I ended up buying a cheaper 2011 Honda CBR250r. And that's where my love affair with the motorcycle took place. Here are the mods that I did with my former 250. Most of the mods you see here on this bike was done with a $5 can of plastic dip. I kid you not. I managed to plastic dip the windscreen without taking it off, mind you, because from what I heard, it's a pain in the ass to remove. Also plastic dipped the heat shield, as you see there on the exhaust, and had no problems whatsoever. Plastic dipped the wheels because they were silver and I thought they were ugly. I actually made a homemade GPS dock, the same one that's on my Honda CBR600rr. I did a video on that, by the way, and I'll include a link in the info section of this video. Other mods that I did on this bike, I added no-cut Yoshi frame sliders, as you see there. Also did a video on that. I'll include a link in the info section of this video. Put LED lights on this bike as well, because like I said, I used to ride at night. And I like my bike lit up at night for better visibility, help keep you safe out on the streets. As you see there, I plastic dipped my wheels, and it came out good, actually. And I had no problems whatsoever with these wheels being plastic dipped. Actually, it's pretty easy to clean. All you got to do is just take a wet rag and wipe them down, and they look new again. And it'll actually protect your finish as well. Also added the 12-volt outlet under the seat in the trunk, which powered the GPS and also charged my cell phone. Comes in very handy. I'll include a link in the info section to where you can get this 12-volt outlet. This is how the LED lighting system looked at night. I tell you, it lit up the road beautifully for excellent visibility. Keep you safe out on the streets. Especially for you new riders out there. Hey, I ended up getting rid of the 250 after only owning it for about 5 months. Because like most riders, I got bored with the 250's weak performance off the line. And its weak performance on the highway. So hey, I ended up trading it in at a local dealership. And they gave me $3,500 for it. I actually forgot to tell them about one little important point, that I plasti dipped the wheels, heat shield, and windscreen. So they probably thought that I powder coated the wheels and the heat shield and paid a bunch of money for a windscreen. But hey, they ripped me off a little bit. I ripped them off a little bit. Hey, you can't hustle a hustler. So I figure I still lost about $400 since I paid up $4,000 for the bike. But it's all good, because I ended up getting a bike that I truly love. My baby 2008 Honda CBR600rr. One of the prettiest bikes in there. Even came with a Two Brothers Black Series slip-on. Exactly what I wanted. And also hot bodies, flush mount turn signals, fender eliminator kit. And they withheld one little fact. Chinese fairings. I didn't know nothing about it, but hey, they ripped me off a little bit. $6,500, not too bad. Listen to that Two Brothers exhaust. Music to my ears. Some of the more important mods that I've done on my bike are the frame sliders. These are no-cut frame sliders, much easier to install than regular frame sliders. The regular frame sliders, you have to cut a hole in the fairings, which if you screw up, I mean, that's a very expensive mistake. You definitely want frame sliders on your bike, because if you ever go down or drop your bike, it'll help save you from having to replace your crankcase cover or your alternator cover, which is a pain in the ass to replace sometimes. Also added some Shorty Levers. I like them much better than stock, much more comfortable. Also made a GPS dock for my bike to mount my Garmin Nuvi 1690 GPS. I did a video on it, by the way. I'll include a link in the info section of this video. Here's the mount. It also powers my Garmin Nuvi GPS 1690 as well. Believe it or not, these are the only parts I use to make my GPS dock. This is what it looks like when assembled. Very simple. Actually, most of the parts came with the GPS. And here's how I charge my GPS with my bike. Just a regular old 12-volt outlet. I actually prefer it this way because the charger cord is fused, and that way I don't have to worry about messing up my bike's electrical system. Here's another great mod I did. The mirrors with the turn signals. I'll tell you, these mirrors are absolutely awesome, and they're very inexpensive and easy to install. I tell you, I actually prefer these aftermarket mirrors over OEM. Not only do they look better and provide better visibility with the built-in blinking light, but also you can see behind you better. You know, less of your shoulders and more of the road. Here's a comparison between the aftermarket mirrors and the stock mirrors. As you can see, the aftermarket mirrors are a little bit more wider, so you're going to see more of the road. One of the best looking mods I've done on this bike so far is change the fairings over to custom painted pearl white fairings. Make it look beautiful, look good. And I tell you, I've had no problems with these fairings whatsoever, and no more free advertising for red bullshit. Another cheap and easy mod I did was change over to an aftermarket relay so it corrects the hyperblink. Here's before the relay was installed. And after the relay was installed. Much better. One of the mods I actually regret was putting on an aftermarket gas cap. I actually got a 10% reduction in fuel efficiency, so I highly recommend sticking with the OEM gas cap. So what I did was whip out that $5 can of Plasti Dip and Plasti Dip the OEM gas cap. Just do the center though, because I did the whole gas cap and actually got a little gas on the edge, and man, it wipes it out in like 0.2 seconds, so just stick to the middle. Also, when you get a tank pad protector, get a good one and don't get a cheap one like I did, because you'll be gluing that sucker forever. Another little mod I did was put some power grip pedal tape on the inside of my windscreen and attach a garage remote. Comes in real handy. Also have a brake reservoir sock. You definitely want one of these. If you ever get a leak, which I've never had one, it'll keep it from flying on you. As some of you guys may know, I have a GoPro mount on the inside of my windscreen, and that's to attach my GoPro Hero 2. I use it as a black box camera sometimes. So hey, you never know, man. I like to have a camera running at all times. This is what it looks like. Hey, I just wanted to mention that most of these mods that I've done in this video, you can get yourself. I included the links to get them in the info section of this video. Hey guys, if you get a chance, check out my installation videos that are applicable to this video. I included a list here, and the links are in the info section of this video. So hey guys, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.
Ride strong.
Hey guys, check out my new channel where I talk about anything and everything, not just motorcycle related. Cyclecruza Motovlogs. Get your Cyclecruza sport bike themed apparel at Cyclecruza.com.
Cyclecruza.com.
Hey, join in on the discussion over at my forum at Cyclecruza.com, and also hit like on my Facebook page for new updates, and that's Facebook.com/Cyclecruza1.